Hello, I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and welcome to the after episode for our topic of health, where we reviewed Dr. Chatterjee's book, Feel Better in 5, which was actually, if you really want to break it down, it's Feel Better in 15, because that was his suggestion. He has like 3 categories, and you have to take one from each category, but, you know.
Well, men naturally think 5 minutes is 15 minutes.
Seriously.
Wait, is that the opposite?
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, those are
Dr. Chatterjee, I ain't feling better in 5, okay?
It takes to be 15 minutes.
It needs to be at least 15. Okay, Dr. Chatterjee?
Yeah, just so you know, it doesn't work in 5. Oh, man.
So, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. As you know, we lost our cars in Ian. So
Ian is the hurricane.
Hurricane
all
Ian.
Of you have been, under a rock. We were talking about why do they name them after people?
I don't know. I don't understand any of it.
They should name it after like serial killers.
They should. You should be able to write in, tell your story about your family member that's just a big, huge piece of shit. And we should vote. And it could be like a Tom. Like,
yeah. I just think you should name them after like bad things. Because like they destroy lives. Like, and then you're going to be forever Ian. Ian.
Well, this one would be the COVID of hurricanes.
Yeah.
This would be like the Spanish flu of hurricanes.
You're like ruining names.
Totally.
You know, now it's Nicole, right? Like, why would you name a hurricane Nicole? It doesn't even, and then that doesn't even scare people. Like, Nicole's coming over.
Nikki.
It's just Nicole.
Oh, I hope she got her roots done.
Like, devastation, you know?
Yeah, Nikki's are harmless. I mean, if a fucking Tanya comes in, you're screwed.
Yeah, and fucking Ian, that's not really harmful either.
Ian.
Like Ian. But then it's, they're gaslighting with these names.
Oh, well, we've been gaslit by hurricanes for years.
Yeah. So anyway,
there's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was talking to my mom about like naming hurricanes after serial killers. And she goes, they should name, like, she was just random. She's like, they should name them after movies. And then we like, I don't know where she came up with this. She goes, the last one should have been Forrest Dump. And then like we started like talking as if we're the hurricane in the Forrest Gump voice.
I love when you get that jam going with like
family.
my mom does that stuff too. We can get on something and it won't end for a very long time. That's funny.
And from that day on, I was blowing.
And blowing and blowing.
Anyway.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So we ruined our car. Ian ruined our cars. Ian the hurricane.
Yeah.
The Forrest Gump of all hurricanes.
Yes.
And so we got new cars this week, but the funniest thing is Jason, his thing is to find a car that he wants somewhere in our nation. Right, and go get it and then drive it home.
That's cool. I like that.
It's so cool, but like it's also a really cool way to get like a 4-day like wonderful like alone time. I'm like, and last time he did it, he picked up his car in New Jersey, and there's this special road that people like to drive. It's like called the Dragon. I don't really. It's kind of. I think it's over somewhat sort of by Asheville. Yeah. And I didn't find out until months later that he drove it twice in his new car.
He was chasing the dragon
twice. He did. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I love it. I love it though.
Yeah.
So we've been working on that. And that's about it. Just living the dream here in Naples, Florida.
Yeah.
Healthy life.
Healthy life, speaking of. So Dr. Chatter, how'd you do on this book? How is it? So Feel Better in 5. It's for people who say, oh, I'm too busy to get my shit together. So here's stuff you can do in 5 minutes.
Well, I was too busy to read the book.
That's what I thought.
I read half of it and then I got really perfectionist. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing it right. Then I was like, okay, I don't know. I shit the bed on this book.
Well, okay. So Dr. Chatterley does talk about this. No negative self-talk.
Is I shit the bed negative?
I mean, it could just be an objective fact.
Is that not a compliment?
Did you actually poop in your bed?
No. It's something I say to myself when I'm not feeling great about myself.
Yeah. So no more negative self-talk, because he says if we spoke to other people the way we speak to ourselves, we'd be banished from society because we're so mean. We'd be bullies. We bully ourselves.
I know. Why do we do that? We're not allowed to do that anymore.
We're so dumb. We can't do that.
So fucking stupid. Why do we fucking...
God, why do we do that?
Hate us. We're self-bullied.
Yeah, we are. So no more negative self-talk. I honestly thought you were doing the book because fake it till you make it. You were doing a lot of the suggestions that he suggested. So Dr. Chatterley, this book is he calls them health snacks. They're these little tidbits, these 5-minute things that you can do to feel better. He's got 3 categories. So mind, body, and heart. Those are his 3 areas, and you can pick little things to do in each of these areas. And I thought you were doing them.
I did read the mind and the body part. I didn't get to the heart part. Okay. And I did start the workout a week and a half ago. And then I got back to it. We were supposed to start reading the book, and then I felt like I should go back and do it. And then I got perfectionist, what do you call it? The saboteur.
Yeah.
And
there's one of them.
She came hard on me. She was nasty, and I'm not letting her do that anymore. My self is not nice. And then, but did I tell you I did this? It's called the Ultimate Breathing Experience with this lady named Candace Tranter. Holy shit. I'm sold on meditation. You know how bad I've been at meditation?
Yeah.
I'm 100% sold on it. I had an otherworldly experience. I want to have her on the show.
We'll have her on the show.
Candace?
And that's why I thought you were doing the tidbits, because that's one of the things that he offers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. See?
Yes.
That's how connected we are. You read it, I do it.
Exactly. I really like this book because it's, and you mentioned this earlier when we spoke, there's not a lot of pressure in this book, right? It's kind of, it's like this coaching course I took once, and they said if you're offering advice to the person that you're coaching, offer it like an hors d'oeuvre on a platter.
Yeah.
They don't have to take it, but they can if they like it. And I felt like his book was like this. It was just this wonderful platter of hors d'oeuvres, and I could just kind of pick and choose what I liked, and that's what I liked about this book.
And I love the parts that I read. I didn't finish it, but the parts that I read, I loved because he's so joyful. He's a doctor, which for some reason that means something to me, big time.
Yeah.
And he's a medical doctor. And he just is, he's so relaxed and he feels good when you don't feel like you're he's just got a joyful demeanor when he's reading it. We listen to it on Audible. And I love that I can't stand doing things that take too long. And I love that it's little bits and pieces.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying. He was very gentle in his approach. And I completely agree. So
Yeah.
this book is great. It's basically a book that asks you for 5 minutes of your time, 3 times a day, to work on like improving your health. So it's just full of these little 5-minute suggestions.
Yeah.
And you can choose which ones you want to do.
Did
And
you
they're
do
just
the workout?
Tiny little. I did the workout.
It was
Yeah.
amazing,
So
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Took 5 minutes and I was like sore the next day.
Yeah. And that I was like, he said, you don't think that 5 minutes makes a big difference, but it does. And then he gave this great example of how if for 5 minutes a day, 3 times 5 minutes a day, you ate all the junk
and smoked cigarettes
and did all the bad stuff, would it change your health? And you're like, well, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, so maybe I'll start trying that.
You're like,
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But that was a great example, because you're like, if you do anything for 5 minutes a day, it will affect your life.
Yeah, and that just made me feel better, because I get overwhelmed. Like, I think if I have to work out, it has to be at least a half hour, otherwise I'm getting zero benefit. Yeah, and he proved that wrong, which I absolutely loved.
Right, I like that too.
So, yeah. Do you want to hear a little bit about? I did do some research.
I love that you're prepared when I'm not prepared. Like, I feel like we balance each other so well. Yes, teach me everything. I don't even have to read the rest of the book.
So he was born in 1977, so he's around our age.
He's my age.
He's a British physician, author, television presenter, and a podcaster. So he has a TV show called Doctor in the House, and he's like really popular on BBC, which I love the BBC.
I love BBC.
It calms me down. I listen to the BBC. It just calms me down. He was raised in a medical family. So, doctors, from Calcutta. That's where his family's from. He went to Manchester to school. He was always interested in medicine. He plays like 4 instruments. Like, he's just a well-rounded guy. Mm-hmm. And he's married to, I'm going to butcher this name, Vidhata. So she's also Indian, and she's a barrister, and they have 2 children, and she's gorgeous. Like, they're very attractive people.
They're very attractive people. I noticed that.
Yeah, which
means
makes
something to me.
More. Like, it really does. I'm like, oh, you're pretty. I could trust you more.
I know. I feel like if you're attractive, then you can help me become more attractive. If you aren't attractive, I don't know if there's not as much of a connection.
Yeah.
And that's not
right. Have you ever seen like health ministers or something that just are like, they look like slobs, and you're like, what? Like, he walks the talk. Like, I can buy into that. He seems happily married. His wife is gorgeous. They have 2 kids.
He's very fit.
He looks very healthy. He's very fit. I'm like, I
feel like he's got something to give us. Yeah. If you're like Jabba the Hutt trying to give me like ways to feel better, it's not
5 minutes a day. And you're like, no thanks.
Yeah. I'm not going to take health, from Tommy Boy. Health advice from...
Yeah, no thanks. And then this book is just... So I like how he just divides it into 3 parts. So mind, body, and heart, which is really cute. And then he just provides like a bunch of stuff you can do. So I do want to talk about the mind, because that's... You started doing the breathing thing, because he suggests breathing as something to calm the mind. So can you like share your experience with the whole breathing thing that you did?
Okay, so I'm actually considering like bringing this into my life, like for 30 days straight in like a boot camp with Candace, because she does that. Wow. I first met Candace at the Rank Makers convention, and she lives in about 30 minutes from us. And I was like, we have to get like, because I knew meditation that's one of my goals this year. So she had an event at a studio here, and she invited us, and we went. There was I think there was 5 of us, and you lay on a mat with your palms up, and you breathe for I don't know if it was 15 minutes or an hour and a half. I'm not kidding you, but and then you sit up onto your forearms and look up and breathe like that for 50 breaths. And then you lay back down and continue to breathe like that. I left my body. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I had this thing in the second 50 when you go up on your forearms and look up. I literally, I don't know what happened. I named 50 people that I had resentments with that I let go.
Wow.
Like 50 names popped into my head. I mean, how fucked up is that?
I'm sorry, but I love the fact that actually, I don't even know 50 people.
I had a problem with 50 people that I didn't even realize that people I thought that I had forgiven years ago. Yeah. And their names just came into my head just like I didn't even think about them. Boom, 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 boom.
Super interesting. Sidebar.
Okay.
His whole section on heart has a subsection called forgiveness. So you killed two birds with one stone, girl.
I was killing everything, and like, and you lose. Like I felt like I lost weight. Like
you did. You lost the weight of those resentments.
I lost I just felt like, and when I got done, it was the first time in a long time I felt small. Like I felt tiny. I felt like
that.
Like when you stand by an ocean and you look out and you feel for a moment that how the vastness of the ocean and how small you are in the scheme. Yeah. Like I felt that smallness, like as a perspective. That's
called ego deflation. That's fantastic.
I love it. It's
really nice.
Yeah, it was so wonderful.
Because it's so interesting when you do get that small, because everyone thinks, it's powerful because it doesn't matter what you do, because it's kind of, I'm insignificant, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm insignificant. I love that. T-shirt, insignificant.
T-shirt, insignificant.
That's so funny.
So
so it was magical.
I love that you were doing that.
It was literally one of the most magical experiences. I'm totally sold. She gave us some breathing techniques so if I'm going to beg her to be on this podcast and see if she will show us
Can you give her a shout out? What's her business?
Her name is Candace Tranter. Just look her up. She's incredible. Cool. Like she's big time. She's like a big time healer. Like right when you the minute you're in her presence, you feel calmer.
Yeah.
She's just got that way. That. Yeah, she's got that
energy.
Yeah, she works very hard to have it. Like I can see that. Yeah. So that was like one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I'm so glad I went. And halfway into the breathing, I thought, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? Like, I think this is out of my pay grade. Like,
yeah. I used to do breathing workshops because I was doing Art of Living, which is like they do different breathing techniques and then you meditate, and you literally sometimes do leave your body. And
I left my body. When
you come back to it, it's almost like I felt like when I was doing it, like I was walking around and everyone else was like behind like a glass wall, like nothing could affect me. Yeah. I was like detached from stuff. It was really cool, actually.
And that's how I picture being dead is going to feel.
Yeah.
I think you're just going to be free.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. So good. So he actually says that these breathing techniques, he gives a couple suggestions for this mind area, but you did the breathing thing and you can recommend it. Like you felt amazing afterwards. What else does he say? To be around nature. He says something that's really interesting. He says to download your thoughts, meaning if you got a lot of stuff in your brain, just to write it down.
Okay.
To get it out of your head, to give your head a little bit of a break. And I really like that too. Because I carry a lot of stuff up here. And if you get it on
You're
paper,
extremely cerebral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get it out of here, put it on paper, and then this doesn't have to worry about it. The paper's got it. So he says
I don't have to worry about that. I'm the pretty one.
Might want to call your sister the smart one and tell her
I'll let her know.
Yeah. So
I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
So the next section, he had mind, how to take care of your mind. He had a bunch of stuff on the platter. Body. So this is where he did that workout, which he called the classic 5. And I think that's what you're talking about. So it was lunges, reverse fly, squats, press ups, and glute bridges. And
Those
that was
were
it.
amazing.
And he said 30 seconds each, 5 minutes, and you're done. And I did it, and it was amazing. And I'm so glad I have a 5-minute workout now because I don't like working out.
Well, and once I start working out, like if I do it for like 28 days straight, you can't stop me. Like you literally, like I'll just become like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely taking that with me. But
Yeah,
I am going to post this thing where I was writing them down to like put on my mirror at home. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all on 1, it says lunges. 2, 3, 4, and 5 have nothing. Okay.
So just to remind people, it's lunges, reverse fly, squats, press ups, and glute bridges, and all of those for 30 seconds.
And you do them twice.
And then you do it twice. Yeah. And that's it. It's a 5-minute workout. So.
And then you had a cardio one
that.
too, like 5 minutes of not cartwheels. that could get fucking weird.
Don't do it.
It was jumping jacks, which I love jumping jacks. Or it had like jogging in place for 5 minutes. You had like, I can't remember the other examples that he left.
Basically, the category was like sweat. So anything that gets you to sweat, like just break a sweat.
Yeah, I mean, you could really get it. This could be fun for couples.
Creative. How can I
5
break
minutes.
a sweat? Gonna make you sweat till you bleed.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and he had what other categories? He had play, balance, and restore. So just basically taking care of your body.
So speaking of play, guess what I've learned to do this week?
What?
Hoverboard with Scarlett.
Oh my gosh!
Jason's calling us.
It floats in the air.
Yeah. Well, have you been on a hoverboard?
No.
It's hard for adults. Scarlett's amazing at it. But I just got fed up with not being able to do it. I'm like, I'm learning to hoverboard. So Jason's calling us easy breezy, beautiful hover girls.
Can you post that somewhere?
Yes,
that's
of
funny.
course I will post it. That's my play.
Breezy, beautiful hover girls.
Easy breezy, beautiful hover girls. Yeah, I will definitely post. I'll post that right on our We Need Help podcast, Instagram.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no shame.
Amazing. Yeah. It's fun. When you have kids, it's just easier to play because sometimes you just have to.
It sucks to play with your children sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Boring.
Scarlett went through a dinosaur phase that nearly fucking killed me. I would make eye contact with her when she'd get that look at her like, can we talk? Can we play dinosaurs? Because she knew every name of them and I could never pronounce them right. And she would get so pissed at me at 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it goes on and on. Nothing is worse than playing with your children when you don't want to.
Yeah. And dinosaurs, Barbies. Yeah.
Barbies all day long.
All day long. Ken and Barbie have a fight. It's fun, right? But dinosaurs, there's no love story there.
Yeah.
That's why they got extinct.
Yeah.
I think.
They're not fun, and therefore they had to go.
Love story. Bye.
God didn't love them.
Even God was sick of playing with them.
God was done.
God's like, I can't do the dinosaurs anymore.
Not
little
anymore.
baby Jesus is like, but God.
Yeah, baby Jesus couldn't even say anything. It was like, no. God got sick and tired of being corrected with the names. And he's like, you know what? Flood. Fuck it.
I'm done. You're not getting on that ark.
No can do.
Sorry, your name's not on the list. The dinosaur's
looks like the Triceratops.
Hold on, let me call God. Let me call God. And he's like, nope, you're not on the list.
No.
Noah's like,
not
no.
a thing. Yeah. Noah's like, no.
No.
It's in the name.
No.
That's how he got his name. I love how we just seriously dry hump the Bible.
We got to write our own version of the Bible.
I've been wanting to do that because it's the #1 selling book in the world.
Yeah.
And I think if we put it on Amazon, a number of people will accidentally order it.
Like a funny one, like a funny version.
Yeah, we can make it good, but they could also, but if they're anything like me, they never return anything.
Yeah.
So a big fraction of our sales will be from losers that don't read, like me. Like they don't read the description.
They're like, oh, the Bible, click.
Yeah, I want that. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll rewrite the Bible.
Idea. All right. Well, let's talk about the last section, which is heart.
That's the section I didn't get to.
But you did see. Here's how the universe takes care of you. You did the mind one. You did the breathing, and it snuck the heart in there because forgiveness was one of his subcategories in heart. So he had the category of heart to take care of your heart, and the subsections were connect, forgive, and celebrate, which I love. And you had the whole forgiveness thing.
I love that.
During your breathing.
I'm a natural celebrator, though. Are you? You are.
You do. Yeah, but you know what? I haven't been celebrating as much, and I've decided to celebrate any kind of small little victory. Because I haven't been. I only celebrate the big victories, but I'm going to start celebrating the small stuff.
I not only celebrate the small stuff, but this is something, and I don't know if it's in the book or maybe this was part of our new book that we're writing. I literally feel the same excitement when somebody else gets a goal as I do my own. I take on I steal their excitement for things. I'm that happy for people.
When I watch football, soccer, I'm happy when both teams score.
I love that.
I'm happy when both teams
I'm
score.
happy for everybody.
Me too.
It's really hard for, that's why I say, it's really hard for anybody to win against me because I want them to win too.
Yeah.
You can't really compete with somebody like that.
Yeah.
I truly want everyone to win and just come out, happy and ahead.
Just be winners.
Yeah. Just win, bitch. Win.
Just win. So heart, he talks about this. I read an interview with him, and the interviewer said, "What do you mean by heart? Taking care of your heart, cardio health?" And he said, "No. It's our connection with other people. It's our connection with ourselves, with our friends, with others. So that's what that means, And he said isolation, no, reaching out, connecting, being kind. His little thing was." Just a 5-minute act of kindness. Leave a little note for somebody. Pay somebody a compliment. Have you ever paid a stranger? I pay strangers
I do it all
the time.
nonstop.
Yeah.
And Scarlett does it too. I've noticed the other day. We were in the bathroom as at a gas station, and she finished first, and she's out there chit-chatting with random ladies. She's like, "Your dress is beautiful." And it just makes me feel so good that there is so many things. People are catching shit, especially online these days. It's so important to balance that, with a genuine compliment. I think.
Yeah.
And this one lady, this moment changed my life forever. I was at Starbucks, and I was having one of those days where I fucking felt phenomenal about myself. I just felt good. Yeah. I probably had all my laundry done at home. I was everything was shaved.
Feeling good as hell.
Feeling good. I was walking in I was on a freaking douche commercial. And this bitch looks at me straight up and down and rolls her eyes.
Oh.
And I was and I was feeling so good about myself. I was super nice. And I was I looked at her. I was I just looked her up and down and found something I really genuinely liked about her. And I said, I just want to say your glasses look so beautiful on your face. They're the perfect shape. And she started crying. She goes, "You have no idea how how much I needed that compliment." And it changed me from seeing people as, let's stop taking things personally. Like, if somebody doesn't let you in, who knows what kind of out of control, like in the car, like in a lane, who knows what kind of out of control they're having at home. Maybe they have somebody sick that they can't heal, or, you know what I mean? Like, it just made me think it's not all about me. It's not let's just stop taking things so freaking personally. All the time.
And I think that's the way people treat you has nothing to do with you. It's what's going on with them, and it reminds me of the story. There was this, when I was living in London, one of my neighbors would always come out and she had like a scowl, like constant scowl. And I was like, and I would always say, hi, and smile. And she would roll her eyes at me and just keep walking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's so mean. Like I hate her. And I remember, telling my friends, like, she's just so mean. Like, I just don't, and I was just assuming that she was just a bitch. And a couple years later, I'm on this like spiritual meeting because I joined this like spiritual group, and I'm on this spiritual meeting and I see her. She like logged on and they're like, and our speaker is Kirsty. Like that was her name.
You're like,
and I was
what?
Like, well, I changed her name. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to her. Like, what has she got to say? It was really random because I was in Poland and like that she just happened to be on this thing. And she started sharing and she said, a couple years ago, I, gave birth to a child and the child died during childbirth. And I just couldn't, I wanted to kill myself. She's like, because I felt like my body failed me. Because she had an eating disorder like way before and she felt like it was her fault, and she said it was all I could do to leave the house. And I just remembered, like, instead of like feeling compassion, I judged, and at that moment I realized, like, I have no idea what's going on with people.
Oh yeah.
No idea. And that's that moment, like that's how powerful the universe is. It just gave me that lesson.
Thank God.
And I will not judge anybody because I don't know what's going on with them. They could have just lost a child like she did.
Sometimes when my tanks are empty, I let my ego drive accidentally. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm like not feeling like I'm not fulfilled myself, like I'll take something personally and then I'll just realize, I had this lady, she was really in a situation where she was like had her children were competing against Scarlett, and she I found out that she had said like something nasty about Scarlett and her horse in a text to her own mother. And she sent a video of Scarlett riding to her own mother, and Scarlett actually found out about it. And I just sat there for a second and I said, Scarlett, and she told me about it. Like, we were with them at the time. Mm-hmm. And I said, Scarlett, honey, this isn't about you. This isn't about me. This is about her. I don't know what her problem is, but like, she's got a problem. Like, she really, really, really does. And I said, I don't know what she was. She sent the video to her mother, so she was obviously trying to get approval from her mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I go, can you imagine having to do that to get approval from your mother? You have it, So that was like one of those moments where I wanted to go punch that girl in the face, and I had to be like the better person for Scarlett to learn how to do that. And it's like, it felt so good to just be like, okay, that's not us. That's not our problem. That's really weird. And that's her problem.
Yeah.
And obviously she's going through some shit.
Yeah.
And,
not only does that make you, like, your soul feel better, because it's difficult to do. Yeah. First of all, it's difficult to pause and say, hey, this is not about me. It's difficult to consider the other human.
Especially when your baby's involved or something that you care about, like a lot is involved.
Yeah.
But
you feel, like you said, you felt much better. And Dr. Chatterjee says it actually improves your health. Like, it really does. So,
wow.
things like that improve your health. Yeah. So
That's why I'm so healthy.
that's exactly. So anyway, I'm really glad we did this book. What are you taking away
I
from it?
love
Like, what's
this
your
book,
takeaway?
and my takeaway one is that 5-minute workout is fantastic. I mean, it really does work. But I am going to finish the book this week. I'm not letting it go because if I had to, it's a great book for everybody. I think everybody should read it. I think it would. There's no one it couldn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm loving this one. What are we going to do next?
wait.
What? Are we not done yet?
No, because I don't have my takeaway.
Oh, so Jesus, I did it to her, the Polish date. I'm sorry. God, I'm not allowed to say anything bad to myself now. So, well, we're just going to move on. What is your takeaway, Izza? Normally, I'd flog myself for this, but I'm just going to move on.
Don't flog yourself. For our listeners who don't know, when I first moved to Poland, I started going on dates, and I would ask all these questions, and nobody asked me any questions back, so I would just sit there.
So I do it to her all the time.
So she Polish dates me.
Yeah, we're Polish dating.
Anyway, the thing I'm taking out of it is to just add these little tiny tidbits, these health snacks, as he called them, which I love that he calls them that. So in any given moment, you can do something healthy. He even said to put a step next to your kettle, like if you make tea, and just do a couple steps while your water's boiling. And I'm like, oh my God, genius.
Well, and I love anything that is called snacking.
Exactly. I'm like, it's a snack. So and so adding these little things, like if you're just sitting there, do a kind act, send a nice text message, or adding these little things, these little tidbits, these little snacks to my everyday life. That's what I'm going to take out of it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to go out again next Tuesday?
I'm busy.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
I love you.
I love you so much. What are we going to do next?
We need to do a parenting book.
Oh,
This is what we need because we are about to launch. We need help for the little ones.
Little people's clothing that say funny things
so
are cute.
The little cute.
And they're going to be cool looking because some of these kids' clothes are kind of stupid looking.
Yeah. Yeah, you've consulted with Scarlett, so
Scarlett's the coolest little MFer I've ever met in my life. She is.
So yeah,
I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but we're consulting with her, so it's really not gonna be lame.
So we're gonna be doing a book on parenting, which is fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be
our
right
topic,
in that
parenting.
book. If there's anything in life that will make you feel like a pure, unbridled failure, it is parenting.
Yeah, and it's also self-help parenting books, I think.
Yeah. So you have to.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you.
I love you so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Rate and follow us if you like us. If you don't, please don't.
And come visit us at www.theweneedhelppodcast.com. There you can find show notes, links for books. You can join Audible, which is, how we actually read our books. We listen to them. And we have special exclusive content just for you. Also, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon account. That's where you can support us financially because we need it. And it can be anywhere from $1 to $100 billion a month, whatever you can afford. And the link to our Patreon account is www.patreon, and that's spelled patreon.com/We Need Help Podcast. And you can support us on there. We would really appreciate it because we do need help.
Awesome. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Thanks,
Bye.
loves. Bye.